Hey, 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 good morning. Good morning, good morning. Waiting y'all to come in. It's Dr. Tartt. Y'all ready for another edition of Dr. Tartt Live, y'all? This is going to be one of the better ones. The Lord has already told me, prepare for y'all to be blessed today because he's given me some stuff. He's downloaded some stuff for you. So welcome in. Come on in. Let me text some stuff early so I can get into a flow. All right, if y'all want to join my email list, okay? If you want to join my email list, I always do this late. If you want to join my email list, all you have to do is text, let's get this out the way now, text TART to 22828, 22828. All right, to learn, just text, there it is, bam, I'll pin that, then we good to go. All right, y'all. So welcome to Dr. Tartt Live. Thank you for coming in. Let me shout you out. But let me tell you what today is about. Today is about silencing your inner critic. Have you ever had a voice in your head that tells you can't do something? I mean, someone speaks life to you. You speak life to yourself. You have dreams. You have visions. And then you start talking yourself out of it. You start saying, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I can't do that. Maybe I can't have that relationship. Maybe my marriage won't work. Maybe I'm not marriage material. Maybe I can't write that book. Maybe I can't go into business for myself. Maybe I can't have a better body. Maybe I can't lose weight. Maybe I can't. Whatever it is. Today we're going to learn how to speak life to ourselves, people. The word says that, life and death exist on the power of the tongue. And so we have to be able to speak to ourselves. You have to encourage yourself in the Lord. And I want to talk to you about how to do that. God says that we're beautifully and wonderfully made, but sometimes we don't feel like it. Stuff that happens to us just makes us doubt ourselves, and failures that have made us doubt ourselves. Today, we're going to end that, y'all. And quick announcement before I shout y'all out. If y'all are in the city, if you're in the city, y'all, tomorrow night, Thursday night, 7:30, I am preaching at Word of Faith Family Cathedral. The house is Bishop Dale C. Bronner and his wife, Nina Bronner. That's their house, but they're allowing me to preach, all right, on 7 last sayings of Jesus Christ. It's 7 of us. I'm doing the 4th one. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? So come on out to Word of Faith tomorrow at 7:30. If you ever felt distressed, if you ever felt like God was not there, he's there, but you didn't feel him. Woo, come on out. I have a word for y'all tomorrow. It's going to be at Word of Faith Family Cathedral, y'all, in Austell, Georgia. All right, so 7:30. All right, and you can live stream it. My wife's going to be there, so she'll probably put a link and probably live stream this while we're there. But, she's going to have the kids there, so 2-year-old might grab the camera, y'all. So anyway, let me shout y'all out, and then we're going to dive in. Oh, man, y'all ain't hot and heavy today. All right, I see you, Naomi TJ1, I see you. Jag Alexis, I see you. Locke, God, GG2, I see you. Traveling Nurse, I see you. I don't know where you are. I don't know if you're in Jamaica, Miami, France, Columbus. You all over. You all over. So I don't even know if you're watching this on a plane. Antoinette Daniels, Zeus Luby, Miss 365. And then Minister Zondwell is on here, legendary sports agent, Phoenix Rising. I am Kimberly B, Miss Free. I got y'all. Okay, CH Love 112. Man, y'all are coming in. Y'all own it. Relentless Aaron, dynamic videographer. Just Me 1942, season of preparation. Y'all ready for this? EO Hair Gallery, season of prep. Billy and STEM, what's up? Forever Real 40. Listen, we need to meet y'all. Counseling, Sky. Y'all know I represent anyone that's a counselor, anyone that's just a healer. If you're in that space, you always have love here. L. Davis, I see you as always. Good morning. All right. George and Gregory, Miss Brittany Hennessy. Man, let me tell y'all. If y'all don't know about Miss Brittany Hennessy, y'all need to go find out to her page. She wrote Influence Her. She's one of the biggest influencers out there and teaches you all what to do when it comes to having more influence with your brand. Just phenomenal. And I'm glad I got a consult, y'all. So I shout out people. Plans fail to succeed based upon the wisdom of advisors. That's in the word. And so if you want to get smarter, get advisors like Miss Brittany Hennessy. All right. So Liz McCartney, I see you, man. I'm shouting y'all out. Man, y'all are here. Dr. Ken, love your videos, brother. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so there's Zontwell telling you where to find our family. All right, so let's dive in. Yam, I see you, 81. Conscious sharing. Saw your yoga video. So y'all don't think, man, this is a fellowship. I watch y'all stuff. If I can be blessed, I'm going to get it. I saw the one where it was all dark, and I saw the one you were doing, I think, restorative yoga. But anyway, let's dive in. All right, let me open this up in prayer. We're going to dive in. Lord God, thank you for everyone that came here today. Lord, you know that we all have a voice of self-criticism, of anxiety, and I remember when the disciples were on the boat and they were anxious about going overboard, they came to you and said, Jesus, how can you sleep in a time like this? And you got up and you just quieted the waters, and you said, if you call upon me, I can settle everything, Lord. So I just appreciate you giving me this article, giving me the opportunity to teach what I read, to be able to help quiet the inner critics of everyone that's watching this, Lord, because we know that the devil is crafty. He loves to come in and take our insecurities and use them against us. But thank you, Lord, for allowing us to have the practical part, the faith and the works, with being able to silence the inner critic, Lord. We thank you. We magnify your name. We celebrate you. All right, are y'all ready to go today? Are y'all ready? I'm excited. Y'all can tell I'm excited. But let me go ahead and shout out, y'all. Let me go ahead and shout this out. All right. So, Psychology Today, y'all. All right, it says silence your inner critic. So I read this. Let me give a shout out to the author, y'all. Gina Pincott, JenaPincott. All right, so she's a science writer and author, and she wrote this phenomenal article called "Silence Your Critic." All right, how to silence your inner critic. And I'm going to break this thing down. I'm going to give you 8 steps for silencing your inner critic, and it's going to work. How do I know? Because I'm excited about it, and we can activate our brains to do anything. And then y'all know me. I'm a psychologist, so I have to give you things that are proven to work. That's the difference between other people. All right, and a psychologist. A psychologist has to give you things that are based on research and data and are proven to work in a laboratory with people. It's not an idea. It is something that has been proven. So one of these 8 techniques is going to help you to silence your inner critic, y'all. And this is something that I work on a regular basis. All right, I have an opportunity to help clients with this. I want to help you. I am excited about it. I see you, Ladybug Harris, jumping in. I see you, Walgood, Sarah BH. I see you, Daryl Blackwell 1. All right, so let's go, y'all. So all right, let's talk for a second. All right, just discount in your mind times in which you just doubted yourself. And I want you to unlock right now what you could do if you didn't doubt yourself. If you didn't doubt yourself, if you didn't talk yourself out of, if you didn't sabotage yourself out of, if you didn't do the negative things to talk you out of your destiny, what would you be doing? Go ahead and let me know that. Type that in right now. All right, let me know. We need to call that to life. We have to declare what it is that we want from our lives, and then we have to be able to go in and re-engineer that sound thinking. All right. So I know for a while, one of the things that I was self-critical of was my own preaching, y'all. I am great. And I give all honor and glory to God. I'm great when it comes to speaking. I'm great when it comes to direct conversation. I do it every day. I'm really great with answering questions impromptu because I read all the time, so I'm prepared. But when it came to preaching, y'all, I was not sure I could do it because I conjure up Dr. Martin Luther King, Bishop Bronner, Jamal Bryant, Cynthia Hale, Barbara King, all these legends, y'all. All these legends, Emory Berry, all these people I've seen, Reverend McCaleb, I've seen some people just, Cheryl Brake, Stephen Furtick. Man, I'm just telling you, my personal favorite, this may shock y'all, my favorite pastor of all times is Billy Graham, y'all, because he just comes straight to you, all right? Charles Stanley, Andy Stanley, I've just seen some great people out there. I've seen some great pastors out there. Mind I'm aware, I've just seen some people just go at it. And so when I tried to preach, I was like, man, who am I going to be, y'all? Is this going to be good? Do I need to get a handkerchief and wipe? Do I need to hoop and holler? Do I need to scream? What do I need to do? And it took time for me to find my voice. And my voice, I found, is speaking life to me and say, listen, you have to do Alduan. You can't be greater than any of those people doing them. You'll never out Jamal. You'll never out Bishop Dale C. Bronner. You'll never outdo E. Dewey Smith. You'll never do them. You'll never be funnier than Steve Harvey if I'm doing funny relationship advice. Never going to be funnier than Kevin Hart. But you know what? I can be Alduan. I can be funny. I can be smart. I can be encouraging. I have to do me, y'all. And so these are some of the strategies that I've used, and I've picked some up. All right. So what is it? Y'all laughing. Y'all know preachers have a handkerchief and they hoop and they holler. Y'all from the South, y'all. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. All right. Toria Roberts, Bishop T.D. Jakes. I've seen some phenomenal. Wayne Chaney. I've seen some phenomenal pastors. And yes, I do look at myself as far as how I measure up, but I always smile and say, you know what? I can never do them and they can never do me. All right. And that's what you have to realize. That God made you unique for a reason. So y'all, this is your season. Y'all ready? All right, so here we go. I'm reading these comments. Not being afraid to be successful, just being me and not emulate anyone else. All right, there it is. Zion Willis coming through. I would be free, empowered, helping others to do the same. Dr. Charles Stanley, you know it. I love that, man. Doubt, the doubt. Public speaking. All right, so let's unlock that. Let's unlock this. Let's go. All right, so the first technique is called self-distancing. Okay? Write these down, y'all. Self-distancing. All right? So what you have to do is you have to distance yourself from the inner critic. So the inner critic says, you know what? You didn't do well in that interview. They asked you a question and you hesitated. You weren't sure of yourself. You know that happens real time. And you should have been prepared and you look like a fool. You look like you weren't prepared. You look like you weren't about your business. All right? That's that inner critic talking to you. Okay? The devil is a lie, but let's prove him to be a lie. So the first technique is to distance yourself from that. And so the way you do that is you say, hold on. What you want to do is you want to talk to yourself. This is where you have a conversation with yourself, but you substitute the non-first person pronoun, you or he's, like you're talking to yourself. So you're saying, all right, hey, Alduan, you know what, they ask you a question and you hesitate for a minute. That happens. You can't be prepared for every question. All right. So you're talking to yourself as if you were your own friend. All right, because how many of you know that you can encourage others, but when it comes to yourself, that inner critic is too loud? So what you want to do is you want to become your own friend by talking to yourself. Just talk that talk. Hey, Alduan. Hey, El. You know what? You weren't prepared for that question, but you know, it happens. It happens. All you need to do is realize that you need to be more experienced in learning how to answer questions you weren't prepared for. You can learn that. All right, and the rest of the interview is good anyway. All right, that's the first thing. Self-distance by talking to yourself. You're going to have so much power. You might seem crazy. All right, might seem crazy, but when you talk to yourself, and I do this all the time. All right, Alduan, you have to do you. Tomorrow, that critic is going to try and come. All right, and we're going to talk about why he or she exists, that critic. He's going to try to come right before I get up. I'm going to go behind 3 phenomenal ministers. I've seen all of them preach. All of them can preach. All of them. All of them, and they can preach well. These ain't no babies. These monsters that are coming before me, and I'm bringing this thing home. All right, so I have to follow them. So I have to keep the energy high, and I'm gonna say, all right, Alduan, God prepared you for this. You're gonna have to do your thing, brother. Hey, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn. The more you do this, the better you're gonna get. You've practiced for this. You prepared. Focus on the people. All right, don't focus on you. God has you. So you self-distance. You self-distance. And for me, and before we move on, number 2, I trust in God. I say, all right, I don't feel totally confident before I go up here, and that's good. That makes me rely on God. God, go ahead and do your thing through me. All right, that way I'm always dependent upon him, and I get so relaxed not having to know everything I'm going to say. I know this might surprise y'all. I only have my sermons like framed out in general. I know a lot of people have them things from A to B, but the Spirit comes in for me. I have the beginning and the end, but I always deviate. God always comes in, and I'm okay with that. All right, self-distancing. So talk to yourself. Number 2, reframe. All right, reframe. All right. This is where you have to say, all right, did you really mess the interview up, Alduan? Or this is where you learn to handle curveballs. Is God preparing you for future things? All right. You're never going to be perfect all the time. So be okay with your imperfections. Did you do pretty well in the interview? You did. Did they say they liked you? Yeah. Is it possible they couldn't tell that you were self-critical in your voice? Because you came back and you smiled and said, let me think about that. I've never had that question answered. Were they looking to see how you handle curveballs? And next time you'll know how to handle it better because you have experience. That's a reframe, y'all. So the first thing is self-distance. All right, get rid of this inner critic and talk to you. Be compassionate. The second one is to reframe. All right, reframe. All right, the third one, and I saw someone shout this out. Miss Free 365. Listen, A plus sister. All right. Self-affirmations. All right. This is where when you're talking to yourself and you hear yourself saying, I'm inferior, I'm deficient, this is where you have to speak life to yourself. All right. And let me give you a technique. What you want to do is you want to find the other areas in your life where you exceed, and you want to say, how do I transfer that skill set over to my weakness? So one of the things I'm really good at waking up and being in my word. I rarely miss. I'm very disciplined with reading the word. I have built a habit where it's just part of my life. I'm very strong with that. One of the areas where I need to get stronger is working out. All right. And so I said, Alduan, how is it that you're able, so I could beat up on myself and say, you know what, you have all this mental strength, but when it comes down to physical strength, because it's boring and you don't see the point and you're not competing, you don't see the point of pushing yourself when it comes to doing push-ups. Cardio, I can push myself all day. All right. But what's the point of doing this? You're just not physically strong and mentally strong when it comes to doing push-ups and weightlifting. I could beat up on myself, or I could say, all right, Alduan, take that same discipline approach to learning the word, to struggling with the word, to figuring that thing out and working on it every day, and know that your mind is going to respond. Your body's going to respond, y'all. And I'm about day 5 or day 6 back into doing, my daily push-ups. And I've been hammering that thing, y'all. I'm going to be so swole this summer. It's swole for me, okay? I'm not going to be The Rock. I'm not going to be missed 2 weeks out, miss Chuck and Trey, anything like that. But I'm going to be swole for me. I'm going to be in the best shape I've ever been this spring and summer because I'm going to be consistent. And so I say, hey, I'm great with reading my word. I'm great with that, all right? I just need to take that same self-discipline and make sure that I do what I need to do when it comes to the physical working out, and I'm excited about it. And one of the things that helped me was reading this book called You Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. He's the Navy SEAL, the black guy that has the world pull-up record for like 4,782 pull-ups. I'm listening to his mindset, and it's ingrained in me, y'all. I feel like I'm a Navy SEAL, y'all. I do. I do. Listening to him, all right? And basically what he's saying is, I just get to it. Speak life to yourself. And I'm like, Alduan, if you can say the Bible every day, no matter how sick you feel, no matter how tired you feel, no matter how many times you've looked at it, you can work out. Why don't you read your word and then work out right after you read your word? Because that way you'll never forget to do it. And that's been working, like a charm, y'all. All right? A little trick you can also do is record yourself speaking life to you. Now, this is going to show my age, y'all, all right? But when I grew up, my mom and dad used to watch Dallas on TV. Y'all remember that show Dallas with J.R. Ewing and Sue Ellen and Bobby Ewing? All right, if y'all are saying no, Google it, okay? But I used to grow up watching Dallas, and when I would see, his name was Larry Hagman. That was J.R. I saw J.R. one time, and when I looked at him, I said, hey, that's J.R. Ewing. My mom said, no, that's Larry Hagman. He's an actor. I said, no, I'm going to go punch this dude for what he did to Sue Ellen. I'm gonna go punch this dude. I'm gonna go off on him, Mom. And so he was acting. And the funny thing was, when I saw him, I couldn't tell the difference. To me, I saw J.R. Ewing. And what we know is that the power of TV, the power of internet, the power of social media, and really what it is, the power of recording yourself makes you believe. It makes you believe, y'all. If you think about your favorite character, you think about Tyreek on Power. Some of y'all still hate that dude, but he was acting. So here's what I want you to do. Record yourself speaking life to yourself. And I want you to watch it over and over again. And I know y'all say, I don't want to watch me. And that's exactly what's going to help you to do it. All right? Because you're going to watch yourself speaking life to yourself, and then you're going to start believing that person on the video, speaking life to yourself, and also giving yourself self-affirmations. You're powerful, you're strong. Hey, you do this. Hey, I'm talking about, you've got various nursing degrees. Take it to the next level. You can do anything. You've been able to work through disappointing times, strong times. You've been able to make it happen when other people said you can't happen. So go back on your successes. Go back on your successes and speak life. I've been here. I've been there. I've done this. I've been in toxic relationships. I still came through on the other side. People said I couldn't read. I got over learning disability. I've had other challenges. Whatever your thing is, you speak life to that and say, you've already done it. So you need to hear that and say, so if I've done that, how is it that I can't do this? I absolutely can. I just need to evoke that same mindset and put that in this new scenario. All right. Number 4. All right. Label the voice. Label the inner critic. Okay? All right? Recognize it. One way to break a pattern is to recognize it. Recognize it, y'all. All right, I'm quick commercial. All right, y'all see this tea I'm drinking, Yogi tea? Are y'all on that Yogi tea? Man, it's the best thing ever. I am drinking sweet tangerine positive energy tea, y'all. I try to do everything I can to get in the right place. I love Yogi. All right, pay me, y'all. All right. So anyway, label the voice. Let me focus. Label the voice. Our inner critic is not necessarily evil. Sometimes it exists just to keep you careful. It's saying, all right, be careful. Be careful, Alduan. Easter's coming up. What you're preaching on, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? There are people out there that feel like God has not answered their call, or they're at least asking the question, God, where are you through this? Why would you do this? So your critic is saying, be careful, prepare for this, get proper night rest, be in your word, study, ask people what they think about it, put it out there. Get people's real stories so that you can be focused on that. So if you're able to label the critic, you're able to understand that it's not necessarily attacking you. It's just saying be careful. There it is. I understand it. And once you can label it, you can separate yourself from the critic. Does that make sense? See, when you're critical of yourself, you're thinking it's you talking to you. Who are you? Who do you think you are? Oh, come on, you're getting too big for your britches. And sometimes you even hear voices from the past. Who do you think you are to go out here and write this book? Who do you think you are to preach the gospel and you didn't done everything under the sun, y'all? That's why I think I'm really good. I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I have, y'all. I can identify with a lot of stuff. I can identify with a lot of sin, y'all. I really can. I've had a great life. I have a great life on the other side, y'all. So I don't miss it. So when people say they do stupid stuff, I'm like, brother, I get it. Sister, I get it. I totally get it. All right. And so just label that critic, label it, recognize it, and then distance yourself from it. All right. I hear you, critic. You're trying to keep me safe. All right. Number 5. This goes on the same thing. Realize that the critic is trying to protect you. All right. It's just simply trying to protect you. It's kind of like that friend that does too much. All right. It's that friend. Do you ever have a friend, someone says something about you, and he or she wants to go all in on the person? They want to fight. They want to go off. They want to slap somebody. All right. They do extra. You want to have a party. They want to do mushrooms and LSD. You be like, nah, I know you want me to have a good time. I don't do the drugs thing, but I appreciate it. Sometimes your critic is just the extra friend doing too much. Your critic is trying to protect you too much. It's trying to protect you too much. And just say, I got you. I don't need you. I'm going to be good. I'm beautifully and wonderfully made. I had these techniques. I see you trying to protect me, but I'm good. I don't need you to be extra to ramp me down. I got it. I see you. So that way you're halting. You're stopping. This is thought stopping. You're stopping the critic and say, I see you. We're good. We don't need any fights today. I don't need any drugs to celebrate my birthday. I'm good. All right, I don't need you. I'm good. I'm going to be okay with preaching. I'm going to be okay with writing this book. I'm going to be okay with business. I'm going to be okay in this new relationship. I'm going to be okay with dating. I got it. All right. Number 6. This is a big one, y'all. This is a big one. Self-compassion. Self-compassion. I'm looking for the study. All right. So it was a study done in the University College of London employing virtual reality. All right. And this is what's going to break you free. I think this is probably one of the 2 most important ones. I know from being a psychologist for 21 years that we have toxic histories, whether it's an ex-girlfriend, whether it's parents, whether it is foster care, whether it is trauma, whether it's sexual abuse, whether it's physical abuse, whether it's abandonment, whether it's neglect, is that we have been damaged. We have damaged. People have tried to damage us. They have tried to stomp the life out of us. All right. And people have told us we're not going to amount to anything. All right. And then there are things that have happened. And then they say, see, I told you you weren't going to make it. See, I told you couldn't make that marriage work. See, I told you no one would want you. I told you couldn't lead a company. I told you weren't pretty enough. I told you weren't smart enough. I told you that you're too much for a man. I told you you're not established enough for a woman. Am I speaking truth? And we let those voices dominate us and kill our destiny. The devil is crafty. All right. So here's what you want to do. You want to have self-compassion on yourself. Here's how to unlock it. In this study, y'all, they had them take this virtual reality goggles and they had them imagine that these are people that were going through these thoughts. They had them imagine that they were consoling a baby. And they were like, just console the baby, all right? Tell the baby that everything's okay. Just tell them it's going to be okay, all right? And so they did that, all right? And it unlocked something mentally and physiologically in them. Then the next step that they had was like, imagine that you're the baby. Imagine that you're the baby. Go back and speak to yourself how you should have been spoken to when you were 5, how you should have been spoken to in that marriage, how you should have been spoken to in that classroom when that professor told me that you were never going to measure up. I had a professor do that. He told me, Tartt, I don't think you cut out for this. You might need to drop science. I was like, bro, you got me bent. I called him out. His name was Dr. Dixon, taught physics at Morehouse. I got a 23 on my first test. He said, Tartt, I don't think you cut out for this. I got so mad. I said, bro, you don't know me. You don't know me. All right, I done been through some stuff. I've been shot at. I had kids die in my arm. This is a whole nother. I've been through a lot, y'all. Y'all might think I was raised with a silver spoon. I have had phenomenal parents, and I was blessed, all right, in comparison to a lot of people. But I also have not been spared agony. All right. So I said, you don't understand. I done been through some things. So for you to doubt me, all it did was awaken me. And so what you have to do is that you have to imagine that you're the baby. Go back and speak life to yourself and say, you know what? When you were 5, your daddy should have been there for you. You didn't deserve that. All you have to do is to be a dad is be there for your kids. You can be a male or a man, all right, and operate and not see your kids. But you can't be a dad. By definition, a dad means that you've been there for your kids. No. What's wrong with your dad that he's not there for you? Not what's wrong with you. What's wrong with your mom that she'd rather be with another man and spend time with her kids? All right, am I speaking life? What's wrong with that man that tried to control you and abuse you? Something wrong with him for you to treat me like that. No, go back and speak to yourself with compassion and just say, hey, girl, you didn't know. You thought he was a good man. All right, you didn't know that your parents were bad. You thought that they did the best they could, but the best that they could do was terrible. It was terrible, and it was life-sucking from you. And I'm glad that you've broken free from that to be able to say something wrong with my parents. I love you, but I ain't deserve that. And if you can have compassion on yourself, you can speak life to yourself, and you can be above the critic. All right, you can be above the critic. That is going to unlock you, y'all. That's going to unlock to you because that's where we're stuck in traumas. That's what happens a lot of times in therapy. We go back to events and we say, what would you say to yourself? What would you say to yourself then, knowing what you know now and watching your dad leave and you having to call him and text him and him saying he's going to be there and never be? What would you tell yourself when you're looking out the window waiting for dad to come? What would you tell yourself? All right, throw away, dad doesn't think about me, I'm not worthy, dad doesn't care, he loves his other kids that he's living with, it's not even his biological kids. I know I'm speaking facts, y'all. And say, kid, you don't deserve this. Your dad should be there for you. Just the fact that he broke up with your mom, it has nothing to do with being a dad. I don't care how much he works. I don't care what he has to do. No, you deserve better from this. Something's wrong with your dad. He's just a bad dad, and you're a great son, a great daughter. I'm going to leave that with you, Dad. You're just bad at being a dad, but I'm great at being a kid. I'm great at being a kid. I can speak life to myself. I can put people that's going to be there for me. All right? So there it is. There it is, y'all. Speak life to yourself. Heal yourself. You can encourage yourself in the Lord. I just gave you the words. Number 7. All right. There's this book called Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. I think she's out of Stanford. All right. I know she's out of Stanford. I don't know if she's still there, but and the book's called Mindset, and it basically talks about self-growth. I want you to adopt a self-growth mindset and say, you know what? I'm not perfect. You know, Jemiah, you're not perfect. I'm not Jesus. I make mistakes. I've done the same mistake 19 times, y'all. That's why I can identify. I've done some stupid things numerous times after I knew it was bad. Have you ever done that? You know it's bad. Put the intervention. You prayed about it. You still did the same stupid thing. All right. And what happens is you start beating up on yourself and say you're never going to change. You're gonna always run a man away. You're going to always try to control a woman. You're going to always be insecure. You're going to always feel inadequate. You're going to always mess up your work environment. You're going to, whatever it is, whatever that self-critic is, all right, silence it by saying, I'm going to be better. And I want you to remember this word. I'm going to make it up. It's called goodish. I am goodish. All right. I am goodish. I'm goodish. So I'm trying to be better. And so this is what you put in habits. So I'm trying to be better with working out. So I'm going to put in habits that allow me to be goodish when it comes to working out. I'm not going to be there every day. All right. I'm not going to be like the trainers I see on TV, but I'm trying to do better. And what you do is that you allow your new habits to define the new you. All right. So I'm going to be better in relationships. I'm not going to interrupt when I get mad. I'm going to be calmer. All right. And I'm going to at least chill 30 seconds to a minute before I say anything. I used to just interrupt when I heard it. I'm just going to do better. And as you put together those habits and you put together those wins, you're going to look up in a month. You're going to look up in 2 months. You're going to look up in 3 months, and I'm going to have a bigger body. You're going to be more patient. You're going to be more tolerant. You're going to be able to engage and be able to have intimacy. You're going to be able to stay away from your vices and be able to do positive things because why? You're goodish. You're getting gooder. And I know I made that word up. You're doing better. Stop trying to be perfect. Stop trying to be Jesus and just say, I'm trying to do better than I did yesterday. My oldest daughter plays volleyball. All right. And sometimes she gets to serve over and sometimes she doesn't. And I said, today were you better? All right. So if you got 7 out of 21 on Monday, don't sit up there and look at it and say, man, I'm terrible. All right. I miss more than I make. No, let's just try to get to 8 out of 21, 9 out of 21, 10 out of 21. It takes practice and repetition and growth. The more you practice, the better you're going to get. And then you're going to look up and you're going to realize that you're able to get 21 over 21 over that net. That's what's going to happen. But if you beat up on yourself and you say, I'll never be good enough, I'll never get it, I'm just not genetically made up, I don't have what it takes for a winner's mentality, whatever crap you tell yourself, you're going to destroy yourself. And that's what the devil wants to do. He wants to get you before you get confident. He wants to take the area of your insecurities and he wants to beat up on it before you, because what happens is once you get confident, you know, when that professor came at me, Dr. Dixon, I was already confident in my academics. I had already had struggles with AP calculus and AP physics in high school and still got an A. All right, I had already gone to tutorial. I knew how to get a bad grade and recover. So when he came to me, I wasn't focused on being perfect. That 23 just meant, bruh, you in college, you might want to ask your roommate, Ali, who got a 90 on it, how to do the physics, brother. And my friend, Dr. Ali Gordon, shout out to you, is a professor of engineering and physics down at Central Florida University. Brother's tight, y'all. Brother's tight. I asked him, God was looking out. Ask your roommate, bro. And I did. And I promptly dropped physics as a minor. Yes, I did. I ain't like it. I got my A and I kept it moving. I was like, never taking this class again. It's not even fun. I like people, not lasers. That was funny. I was a psychology and physics minor. Isn't that crazy? I added English. All right, so anyway, self-growth. Speak life to yourself and just say, all right, good. Right. Like, you're making progress. That's right. Look at y'all speaking life to one another. You making progress. Speak life to yourself. The fan. So the person cheering for you, go Alduan, go Sharon, has to be 5 times louder than the critic. That's in science. I take it up to 7. Let me get my numbers right. Take it up to 7, y'all. 7 to 1. So that means you speak 7 positives over yourself to that 1 negative. That 1 negative is going to be there. You be like, yeah, that first sermon, that wasn't too good. My first sermon, y'all, it was dry. I mean, if it was in the rain, that thing couldn't have been any drier. It was terrible. I was thinking, man, this is bad to me. I don't like it. If I don't like preaching it, I know you don't like hearing it. But I said, let me get this out the way so that I can do me. I'm up there trying to be Dr. King and all this kind of stuff. I said, man, do Alduan. Just do Alduan. You can never be great at doing someone else. And I got through it. And I said, your next one has to be better than your first one. All right, you have nowhere to go but up. Speak life to yourself. All right, and plus, not that many people saw it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't never gonna see that on Instagram. You never gonna see it on YouTube because I ain't put it on there. I only put my good sermons on there. I'm just being real. So you just say, hey, listen, man, this is new. You weren't good when you first started speaking. You weren't good when you first started counseling. I wasn't. All right, I had good personality, but I ain't have any good techniques. I had to learn those. All right, that's what you have professors for. All right. I was doing this interview quickly, and then I got this buzz in my ear. The phone rang. All right. So when I was trained, the phone rang, and he said, Tartt, ask about his father. And I was like, why? But I did. I said, tell me about your father. And the guy just started crying and going in. I asked him later, how did you see he won't talk about his father? All right. I asked him about his mother. When I said, tell me about your father, he said, I don't want to talk about it. How did you know he? And then he said, exactly what people dodge is the issue. I learned that, man. Thank you, Dr. Jerry Miller at University of Michigan for showing me that. All right. And so I watched what people won't say. And so I became a better therapist. But you have to say, listen, I have to be okay with not being perfect. I have to give up this myth that I'm going to be perfect at everything I do and be okay with getting better. Let me start so I can get better. You start the video game, you're going to get out. You're going to get better. You start working out. When I first started working on my push-ups, I was like, Lord have mercy. Now I can bang out, I'm going to be honest, I can bang out 100, y'all. 100 straight. But I had to work up to that. I had to give out at 60. I had to give out at 65. And I said, all right, 65 is better than 60. You're on your way in about a week. You'll be able to get 100. You put on some music. You put on some music, you might be able to get to 100 right now. You have your daughters watching, you know you don't want to punk out, you might be able to get to 100 tomorrow. All right? And then number 8, and this is probably going to set you free. All right? Do it for others. Whatever you're doing, get out of your brain. If you want to change your mind, change what your mind sees. So tomorrow, I'm not preaching so that people can see that Alduan is a great preacher. If I get into that, I get into the wrong vibe. I get into an ego vibe. I get into it, and if I do that, I'm at risk for developing a God complex. I've seen a lot of ministers. Bishop Eddie Long preached on that. All right, I had an opportunity to work with him towards the end of his days, and he said he had a God complex. Everywhere he went, people treated him like he was God. Bishop this, private planes. And when I heard that, I said, all right, always humble yourself. All right, so I'm not preaching for me, for y'all to say I'm great. All right. I'm preaching because someone needs to hear the word of God through me. And so I focus on the people that feel like God has not been there for them, or they know God is there, but they're just like, I prayed to you, and why do I still have this vice? I prayed to you get out of this season of singleness, and yet you let my little sister get married. You let my friends get married that I think in my mind have more issues. I'm a better package. You let them get married and then they ask me to be a bridesmaid. You let my money get funny, and I thought that this is the right product for me. Sorry about that. This is the right plan, and here I am back in debt. Man, how does this happen? All right, you focus on that. So what I want you to do is focus on the people. Focus on the people, y'all. Focus on the people. So if you want to write a book for all the women out there that don't feel like they have a voice. So I'm going to do this for y'all. I'm going to do this for y'all. I'm going to write this book for all the women that just doubt themselves. Or if you're a color, I'm going to be a black man, and I'm going to go on TV, and I'm going to be probably the first Christian psychologist that you've ever seen. I'm not going to focus on CNN and HLN and Sister Circle and looking stupid. I'm going to focus on when a kid is sitting at 8 years old, or there's an adult sitting at home, and they didn't know that Christian psychology was a thing, that you could merge your faith and psychology, and it's a thing, and people would accept it. I'm doing this for all those people that need to see that. I'm not focused on Alduan. I'm giving the gospel for the people that need to hear a word from Christ right now. They need to hear something, and they came from church and they decided they're not going to kill themselves. They're going to give church one more try. They're going to get their marriage one more try. There's a husband out there that needs to hear it that says, I thought that God went with me and I abandoned my wife, and now that I know that God is with me, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to take my wife to the spa, and I'm going to trust that God's going to be able to pay me that money back. That's what I'm going to do. So when you focus, I'm going to do this for my kids, y'all. I'm going to show my kids that you can have fear, but you can still go out there and be 40 and pursue your degree. You can be a doctor. You can be a minister. You can open up your own business at 55, 60. You can have your own yoga studio, Sharon. You can have 3. I don't know how many she has. All right. But I'm going to do this for everyone that follows. I'm going to do it for all the yogis out there. All my students say, I can expand my levels. I can stretch. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it for y'all. When you put the focus on other people, then you're motivated. Then you're motivated. If you just try to feed your own ego, you're going to be limited. So do it for the other people, y'all. Do y'all get it? I hope y'all got a word from God. I hope y'all got a word. So pick up this Psychology Today, Silence Your Inner Critic. I broke down the 8 points. Again, we'll go over in 1, self-distancing. Distance yourself from the critic by talking to yourself. First, talk Alduan. Whatever your name is, say Alduan. You can do this. 2, reframe. You didn't mess up. This is the first time you had this. This is called experience. This is how you cut your teeth. It's how you learn business. You have to take some losses, all right, to learn how to work in a down economy. 3, self-affirmation. I want you to record speaking life to yourself, and I want you to record saying who you want to be. Listen, I am presently the richest person in Montgomery, Alabama. I'm gonna own this city. I am presently the top relationship psychologist in the country. I'm gonna have my own show. All right, you speak life to yourself and you record it and you watch it. It's even more powerful than a vision board, because you're watching yourself say who you are. Don't even put it into the future on your video. Speak as if it is. That's called faith. Without a vision, the people perish. And perish means that you die, you get dull, you get depressed. Give yourself a vision, watch the vision until you actually start to believe that thing. Faith without works is dead. A lot of times we pray and we pray and we pray and we take no action as if the prayer is not activated. You pray, God says, all right, go out, record your first YouTube video. All right, we praying, we praying, we praying. Now, if you don't record the first YouTube video, you're not going to be a YouTube star. You praying, enroll in school. Let God figure it out. Go to tutorial. Ask the smart people in the classroom to help you out. One of them might be your husband, might be your wife. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. And God works in mysterious ways, man. How good is God for me to struggle in physics as a freshman, and then my roommate is probably one of the top minds in physics in the country, Dr. Ali Gordon, y'all. I mean, that's God ordained, y'all. You see what I'm saying? What's the chances of that? Do you know how many African American professors there are in physics in the world? It's limited. It's low. It's low. And here this brother is from DC, single mom. Bow. Shout out to you, Ali. All right. Let me stay focused. 4, label the voice. Recognize what it is. Okay, I hear you, critic. All right, you're not me. It's not Alduan. It's just the critic. I hear you. All right, I see you. You're just a critic. I hear what you say. Let me hear what the 7 things my fan has to say. What's the home team say? Yeah, the Hawks, we losing right now. We losing, but we going to be fire next year. Our first round draft picks are playing well. You know, they're developing, they're getting stronger. And we have 2 more draft picks next year in the top 6. Might get number 1. Man, we ready. We Golden State in 3 years. We Golden State's going to be the Atlanta Hawks. Talking about Atlanta Hawks like the Golden State. And we had an assistant GM. That's how you speak right now. All right. Number 5, know that the critics is trying to protect you. It's that extra friend. Hey, I don't need you to fight. I don't need you to go. I got you. I got you. I hear you, critic. I know you're trying to protect me. I don't need you. God has me. You're not the enemy. You're just trying to protect me from being hurt. I'm okay. I realize that failure is a part of life. I'm okay to fail. I want to get better. I'm not trying to stay the same. I'm trying to fail forward. I'm trying to preach so that I can preach better in 5 years. All right. I'm trying to do TV so that I can be one of the best, and it just becomes natural because I practice 10,000 hours in 5. I'm not worried about where I am right now. I know I'm not making $1 in business. I'm just trying to make my first dollar so I can make 2, so I can make 5, so I can make 10. I'm trying to have 1 client. I'm trying to have 1 sports agent client so that in 10 years I can have 15. I'm trying to have 1 private practice so that I can manage and help others to have a private practice and consult. Be okay with growth. We're not trying to be comfortable. God doesn't care about your comfort. He didn't spare his son agony. Jesus was sweating blood in the Garden of Gethsemane. He was sweating blood when he said, what you want me to do? He said, take this cup from me. I don't want this. Oh my gosh, you mean I have to give my life? I have to take on the sins of other people and be separated from you? For my dad? And my friend sleeping? Come on now. No. All right, anyway, I went off on a tangent, y'all. So know that the critic is trying to protect you. God has you. God has you. He knows where you are. Spend time in your word. Spend time. I like the Life Application Bible because it breaks it down to you. All right, you shouldn't read your word and say, what? You need to go click the link or go to the back and look at the bottom and say, well, how is this relevant to me? All right, and that's why it's important as ministers we teach the word. All right, the critic's trying to protect you, not attack you. Okay, just trying to look out. Say, I don't know, Tartt. You might not want to fight the rock. I say, I don't know. I studied Aikido. I'm going to use his power against him. All right. Number 6, self-compassion. Talk to yourself. When you evoke compassion, and this is the power of faith, if you pray, the studies show this. This was the University of London study. They sent messages. No, let me find it. It wasn't the University of London. There was this guy that was trying to lose weight, y'all. All right. And they sent these texts. It was a University of Penn study. Okay, and it says subjects receive daily text messages with instructions to reflect compassionately on other people. So you might think about Lauren London right now, like, man, what she's going through and what their children are going through, and it'll evoke compassion. All right. And then once you unlock that compassion inside of you, then you're able to silence the critic and be compassionate to yourself and say, all right, let's go. I'm going to read it. OK, so a Penn study, subjects receive daily text messages with instructions to reflect compassionately on other people to tap into their own connection with the higher power, God, higher power, followed by health prompts urging them to be more active, like stair climbing. What they found, y'all, gym owners, listen to this. When you send out a text, all right, you tell someone, hey, be compassionate. What do you think about this? What's an area in life where you have compassion? And then you say, all right, pray to God to give you strength, connect with the higher power, be in the spirit. And then you say, all right, you should work out today. They're much more likely to work out, y'all. That's scientific evidence. What happens is when we beat up on ourselves, we kick ourselves out of the mindset to work out. But when you're compassionate, you say, Tartt, you had this. Come on, we're gonna go in this gym and we're gonna make it happen. And I pray before I go, God give me the strength. I'm much more likely to walk into that gym and do what I need to do, y'all. All right. So you talk to yourself, speak life to yourself, go back to the traumas in your life and say what should have been said in that moment, what mom and dad should have said, what grandma should have said. All right. What the boss should have said, what your husband should have said, what your wife should have said. Speak life to yourself so that we can get rid of that trash that they gave you. 7, adapt a self-growth mindset. Be goodish, be gooder, be better. I don't have to worry about being perfect. I'm just trying to do 1 point better than I was yesterday. And in 30 days, if I practice this, I'm going to be better. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to be better. All right. And then number 8, do it for others. Get out of your own mind. All right. Die to self. That's what they're talking about in the Bible. Die to self. Do it for others. Do it for others. Represent for women. The women that are in our government right now, and God knows we need them as they're trying to limit a woman's choice to what to do with her body, which is absolutely mind-blowing. We are truly have a Nebuchadnezzar governor here in Georgia, and we definitely have a Nebuchadnezzar president in Trump. I'm just going to be honest. But God knows those things. He sends evil people. In the Bible, there were evil rulers. But we always know who comes out. All right. And so what I'm saying is do it. So speak up for other women and say, hey, you have a voice. You have to be strong. That's why we need more women in government. I'm going to run for the other women. That's why we need people. We need men that are noble, that do the right thing. They're not going to go by party lines. You know that's not right. You don't want anybody dictating to your wife or your children what to do with their body. I mean, come on now. I mean, how ridiculous can you be? You know what I mean? All right, you know that the education and dealing with, you know a better approach to dealing with this. So the research is clear, okay? So listen, y'all, all right? So do it for others. Represent. Be the first one in your family. Be the first sports agent from your family. Be one of the few African Americans who owns an NBA team. Be one of the best nurses to ever do it. Be one of the best female pastors to ever do it. Be one of the best volleyball players to ever do it. Be one of the best authors to ever do it. Be one of the best coaches. Be one of the best businessmen and women to ever do it for your kids. Do it for your kids and say, how can I allow you to have a spirit of fear when I was afraid to open up my business, and look at where it is now? And Dr. Ken feels me. He feels me. Get his story, y'all. I can feel it on my spirit. I don't know it. There it is. Pastor Blake says, not selfish, but selfless. Focus on the other people. That's going to unlock y'all. That's going to give you courage. All right. If someone says, all right, go do this for yourself, you'd be like, nah, I don't know. And you say, listen, there's someone out there that doesn't know that God loves them. There's someone out there that thinks that because they're sexually promiscuous, that they're a garden tool. You need to go speak and tell them about your history and what you used to do, and that you're beautifully and wonderfully made no matter what. Don't do it for you. Do it for the girls out there that no one cares about. Go speak to that person if God puts it on your heart, and God will always reward you. Go speak life to them. Go speak life to that brother that you can tell, y'all. And then when I'm preaching and I'm speaking, I can tell the people that are not feeling it, that are going through it, and I look dead at them. And I say, yes, God told me to tell you. That's the gift of prophecy. I don't know who this is for. All right? Do it for them. But if you can get out of your mindset and into the mind of others, especially if you're a helper, you are going to be phenomenal. You're going to be phenomenal. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do this public speaking. Not for me, but so that my daughter can sit up there and watch me do something I'm afraid to do. So that she can realize that's who we are. That's who we are. How can your daughter sit up there and say, all right, I'm not going to do something because I'm afraid, and you just modeled for her how to do something because you're afraid? How can you model for your sons and sitting down with your wife and say, last night I said some terrible things to you, and I repent, and I am sorry, and I will never say those things again. I am sorry that I did that. And you sit your sons down there because they heard you go off on mom, and you sit up there and you show them and say, I'm insecure. I need to go to counseling. I need to get my life together so that they can see that a man is able to be vulnerable. How can your kids see vulnerability as a man if you're not vulnerable with your wife and you don't sit down and say, I don't know? You know, my oldest daughter, she's 12. She's old enough to say, Dad, what you going to preach about? I said, I don't know. I don't even know. I mean, I prepared. I did the best that I could in preparation, but there's this gap. I don't know where I'm going to bridge point 1 to point 2, but I'm going to trust God to do this thing, girl. I don't have all the answers. I'm just going to trust. Will you pray with me? My daughter's a prayer warrior. Both of them. My 2-year-old can pray. All right. Bam, let's go. Wife pray. Let's go. And so they see me not having this super ego, but say I've gotten all that God has downloaded in my spirit. I've done the prep work, but now I'm going to have to lean not on my own understanding, and God going to have to give me the rest, because I guess the guy that puts his head down, that's where God wants me to go in the middle. There's no way I can prepare for that. That's my style. That's my style. That's my style. That's where it is. So I have to be okay. I have to be okay not knowing. In business, you're not going to know. In a relationship, you're not going to know. You're not going to know. But God's going to do the rest, y'all. All right? Now, I didn't have a chance to get to the questions today, y'all. This was just too important. But I do feel like there's at least one, and then we'll wrap up because it's going to kick me off in an hour. You know what? I'm going to find it. Here it is. Oh, man, these are two. Here it is. How do I find my purpose, y'all? Yeah. All right, so I'm not going to identify the person. So how do I find my purpose? All right, get around other people. Pray, first of all. Pray, because God designed you. And if he made you, he's not going to make you without a purpose. See, that's the difference between being a believer or not. So if you're not a believer, you don't know why the world created you, because the world is cruel and doesn't care about you. But if you believe in God, even if you're not sure, but if you choose to believe as much as you can, which you'll understand, and say, God created me for a reason. I choose to believe that he created me for a reason. What is it? Pray, and God will start to reveal it. Now, the second step that you have to do along with that, because prayer without works is dead. It doesn't work. What you have to do is, there it is, seeking God. All right? MSA alike said that. But you also have to add other people, the board of advisors. Pastors have board of advisors. Presidents have board of advisors. CEOs have advisors. All right. And you say, what do y'all see me doing? These are the things that I like. These are the things that I like. All right. There's a formula. These things are coming to me in a book called Happier. All right. And I'm going to show y'all this really quickly. Hold on. All right. God told me when I got the book, God said, take this book with you today. I said, God, I already read it. He said, just do what I say. I'm going to tell you why. Some of y'all need to read this. It's called Happier. It's how to be happier. And they have this formula in there that talks about how to be happier. All right. And this formula. All right. Do what gives you meaning. All right. All right. So it's MPS. Write that down. MPS. MPS. Do what gives you meaning. That's the M. Do what gives you pleasure. That's the P. And then do what is a strength. Meaning, pleasure, and strength. You find those things. You write those things. Your career, your destiny is tied into that. This gives me meaning. Thank you, Team Jesus Mag. Look at that. Team Jesus Mag, MPS. If that's not prophecy, that's not confirmation, I don't know what is, y'all. Do what gives you meaning. This gives me meaning. All right, I know I'm affecting lives. I can go home and say I affected a life. I stopped someone from killing himself today. All right, I feel good about that. I stopped a kid from being quiet and being muted, and I know they're gonna go and they address that bully and say, what else? Amen. God bless you too. God bless you too. All right. Anything else you want to try to break my spirit? God bless you. All right. And I know I had a kid come in. He has alopecia. Kids teasing him. I said, go back, and when they start talking about your hair, say, God bless you too. Say it strong. And he said, now people don't mess with him anymore. They saw they couldn't hit him. They saw the confidence. Other people came along like, man, leave this man alone. Go do something with yourself. It was a girl that came up. All right, now he crushing on the girl. You know what I'm saying? Now he walking around like, man, and guess what, y'all? His hair growing back. Man, God is real. All right, anyway, so P, do what gives you pleasure. Y'all can tell I love this. I love this. And this is a strength. Talking is a strength, y'all. I got N's and talk too much in school. I got all A's and N's and talk too much. And a fool like me was happy about it. I said, yeah, I do talk too much. I ain't never gonna stop talking. All right, there it is. That's how you find your purpose. All right, that's how you do it, y'all. I'm gonna take one more and then we're gonna get out of here. All right, here it is. How do I forgive and live a better life? How do I forgive? All right, this is quick. You can't forgive until you're done being mad. A lot of us like to skip the mad phase. We like to skip the mad phase. All right, be mad. Write a journal. Write a letter to the person that aggravated you. You don't have to send it to them, and go off. Be mad. All right, get it out. That anger is protecting you. It's saying you should have never been done like that. All right, get it out. Journal it. Get it out. All right, and then once the anger phase is phased, then you can evoke forgiveness. But you have to forgive yourself, and you have to ask others, and you also have to set a date. timing. We respond to pace. If you ever had a bill that was due, your mind starts thinking about, what can I sell? How can I do this? How can I get this done? I have to make $90 to make rent. How do I do this? Can I sell my Jordans? Your brain starts thinking when you have a deadline. All right. How do I stay up all night and type this paper? Your brain starts getting real creative when there's a time pressure. Okay, so then give yourself a deadline as to when to get over it, all right, so you can have some pace. And then get around others who fill you up. Thy cup runneth over, all right? So fill up your cup. Fill up your cup so that you feel better, all right? And then be able to distance yourself from what happened. Distance yourself from it. Remember that self-distancing? Hey, you're not a bad person. You were in a bad relationship. All right. You're not a bad business person. You didn't have the right business model. You've learned. You can't just jump into real estate and that thing works. There's a down market, up market. You have to learn what your niche is. Distance yourself from it. That way you can get over whatever happened. We stay stuck because we personalize it. Something's wrong with us versus looking at it and say, hey, that was a bad phase. I was immature. I was dumb. I was young and dumb. I ain't know. He looked cute. All right, so I want to pray before this thing kicks off. All right, so Lord God, thank you for everyone that comes online today. Thank you, Lord, for filling me with such energy to be able to give this to the people, Lord. However you want this to be distributed, Lord, whatever opportunities that you have, Lord, allow me to continue to teach your people. Thank you, Lord, for filling me up. Allow them to replace that critical voice, Lord, with your voice, a voice of compassion, a voice of a Father that always hugs us, that's always there for us, that's always nurturing, that's never away from us, that always says, get up, you can do it, I love you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many times you stomp on a dollar bill, it doesn't lose value. And I saw a Todd Tribbett video on that, Lord. So thank you for bringing that to my mind right now, Lord. Allow people, no matter how much you've been stepped on, you still have value in God, Lord. So allow them to be able to receive your love. Send people into their lives that see the power and the presence in their lives and realize that they're beautifully and wonderfully made. And Lord, give them the energy, the compassion, all right, the compassion and the positive friend to be able to command the land that you have for them, to never underlive below their destiny, to be able to claim it, Lord, and do it for their kids, do it for themselves, do it for those people that need hope, Lord. We ask and pray that you move in the Holy Spirit. These things we ask in Jesus' name, amen. All right, so I will see y'all. Hey, tell y'all friends about this, to follow this live. Give me the comments, all that kind of stuff that fuels me. Let me know. I love you guys. All right, and remember, if you're in town, I'm at Word of Faith Family Cathedral, y'all, in Austell, Georgia tomorrow, preaching on the 7 last sayings of Jesus Christ. All right, mine is, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? And I couldn't ask for a better assignment. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me, all right? But you pray that lives be blessed. You pray for the Spirit to flow through me and that I'm able to prepare and be good, all right? So thank you, all right? So tomorrow, 7:30, if you're at Word of Faith, all right? I love you. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Dr. Gatson. Phenomenal counselor, y'all. Y'all looking for a great psychologist, Christian counselor, Christian psychologist, Dr. Monique Gatson, Mo Gatson. Follow her. I know y'all always ask. Bam, there she is. Get in those DMs, ask what the price is, go pay, build yourself up. There it is. Thank you, Mr. Light. Zontwell, I see you, King. All right. Take care. Erica, I see you. I see you. All these kings and queens on here possessing the territory, y'all. All right. Y'all take care. God bless.